Right. Gonna start counting down for us. And we are live right now, y'all, on Will Inglewood Moments Live, Monday night. We are here. We're a little late, y'all. We apologize for that. But we are here tonight, man, to talk to y'all about the RICO Act, see what we really know about the RICO Act, what everybody knows about it, and about Gunner, uh, what's the other
Young
boy's
Thug.
name? Young Thug. We talk
Hmm.
about Sauce Walker. Prayers out to 50 Cent. He had an accident, I heard. You know what I'm saying? They say he out the hospital and he doing cool, but he was in a pretty bad accident. So prayers out to 50 Cent. We here, man. What's going on with it?
What's going on out there, America? Let's talk about it.
Hey,
What's up with you, Tiffany?
hi.
Hey, so how you been watching the news and TMZ and all these networks about these guys getting caught up in these RICO acts?
I look at it, but it's kind of like, how can I put it? It's not exciting because at the end of the day, is niggas is gonna be niggas. They gonna do what they do. But my thing is, once you get caught, don't start snitching. Don't start telling. Don't start like you feel what I'm saying? The RICO Act carries a lot of time and everything else. But when you was out there doing it, you already knew the consequences of your actions. So why start getting in front of the white people and in front of all these other people and get to running your mouth?
That's real.
But here's the thing. What I notice about what they coming across with these RICO acts is that they snatching up a lot of young black men that has a large income. They snatching up the ones that has a large income and that uh is putting back what they say is putting back in the community of like guns and organizing uh violent crime. So they're using this RICO Act to snatch up these men with money. They tried to do it with TI, but he had enough money to come up under it. Uh they did it with I think his name is Lucci.
Yeah,
They snatched up him on it. Uh they snatched up uh the nine Trey Bloods in New York.
yeah.
They snatched up all them on it. And then they just snatched up Young Gunner and his whole crew. Well, Young Thug and his whole crew. They snatched
Mm-hmm.
all them up. And then your boy Sauce Walker commented on the whole situation with Young Thug and his crew. He commented on it, and then 2 days later, they snatched up his whole crew.
Hey, look, though, I just heard today, though, that they didn't snatch Sauce Walker. They just snatched 14 of his guys.
Oh
They
no,
was,
no. I seen the videos. Sauce Walker getting arrested too.
oh,
Now
you
I
seen
don't
the
know if he
video?
got yeah, he it's a video out of him getting put in the car too.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
he made a comment
Mm-hmm.
that if he was to get snatched up, he ain't saying nothing. He gonna rot in jail. His kids just gonna have to visit him. They just gonna have to put money on his books or whatever. But he ain't saying nothing. And 2 days later they snatched him up.
Oh yeah, because they gonna try to break him. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the system. They want to try to break us. You know what I'm saying? That's
And
that's what it's all about. You
and
know.
that's what I think they're doing. They're trying to snatch up these young cats that got money
Hmm.
and get that money from them.
Yeah,
And it's gonna take money to get these lawyers and bail and all that stuff to get yourself off and under that RICO Act. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, B Rat. Me and you in the hood with 37 different other people,
hmm
but we ain't got no money. So they don't feel as though we putting money in the hood to organize nothing. We ain't got
right,
no money.
right.
So they ain't looking to do a Fed case with a RICO act on us because they ain't gonna get nothing from us. They just gonna get a gang of black motherfuckers in jail. They ain't
Hmm.
gonna do nothing, but they doing an Operation Clean Sweep. That's all they gonna do, and we all gonna be out within a year. But they ain't getting no money from us. But now when they hit people with money with this RICO Act, Then you got to get lawyers. They gonna set your bail high. You want to bail your boys out before they can snitch and stuff like that. And then you want to go to trial and all that stuff. Yeah, they finna get all that money up out you.
Well, you know, they say Sauce Walker, he worth for his net worth is $3 million.
Yeah,
So he got a little bread, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. He got the Sauce Entertainment. Uh, he got his albums out, and then he got a lot of people up under him.
So
So
look though, question though, you know, say Sauce Walker ain't really involved in the streets no more, really like that. He ain't making no moves and doing nothing. But his boys is making moves. Will that fall back on him with the Rico?
yes,
Yep.
Just
yes,
because he's affiliated by association?
Yeah, it's guilty by association.
yes,
Period, point blank. That's why when he made his comment, they snatched up everybody else around him and everything
yeah,
else because it's an organization. The thing
Mm,
about the RICO Act, it can be tricky. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I can be sitting in my okay, prime example, my dude into some bullshit and everything else, but he's being watched for the RICO Act. I'm just
mm,
here. I just live here. But I answer the phone. They see people coming and going. I'm talking to these people and everything else. They gonna automatically snatch me up as well because I'm guilty by association.
you
But
affiliated.
but a lot of these rappers do it to themselves. You feel what I'm saying? Just like Bobby Shamar, whatever you call him.
Bobby Smurder.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
did all that time in jail all behind some lyrics about
Yeah,
catching bodies in a dope house and everything else. So they do it kind of to themselves and everything else. And then you got half of them, they out here rapping about the shit. They never lived the lifestyle. And then when something like this happened, they get caught up. They snitching like a motherfucker.
But
Cause
yeah,
look though, not to cut you off, but say you a rapper and you just rapping about some bullshit that you seen in the street. You know what I'm saying? But you never done it before. You know what I'm
and
saying? But
that
you still talking shit about busting cabs. You might have never shot a gun in your life.
and that's
They
where they
come
get.
fuck with you about that?
Yep, and that's where they fucking up at because a lot of this, if you notice, a lot of these rappers are starting to get caught up behind their music, the lyrics, the this,
hmm,
the that.
yeah,
They're starting to watch these people. They're starting to pay attention to all this because it's kind of like, okay, we and I get what you're saying, buddy. They taking off all the young niggas off the street that's making money and everything else. But a lot of times is they're looking into it because it's a lot of crime when it comes to that shit too. Like, you feel
hmm,
what I'm saying? The feds gonna get their money one way or another because it's a lot of rappers that probably is out here doing that shit and getting away with it, but they paying the feds off. They making that, you kind of get what that's just like the government. Every time we get paid, they get paid.
Right.
yeah,
That's just how it goes and everything else. So my thing is like this. Half of like a lot of this new shit my kids be listening to, I'll just be listening to it like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, half the shit y'all rapping about, that's not even what's really what the streets is all about and everything else and all this other stuff. But you got young kids like my kids listening to the shit, going out here doing the dumb shit. Then they get caught up. Well, where did you what? Oh, well, I was listening to this rapper and this and that and all this other stuff while they're
Right.
trying to glorify the lifestyle. Like, oh, I've been in the street. Like, I get it. Okay, we everybody on here, we've been there, done that. We convicts. Well, I don't know about like Big Rat, but we convicts. We know the system. We know how to play it and everything else. But at the same time, it's kind of like, nigga, we not proud of that shit that we did. It's some shit that we did when we was fucking kids and we got past it and everything else. If we would have knew what we knew now back then, I think our mind frames would have been totally different. Like, jail is not the place to be. Prison is
right,
not the place to be. It's not fucking cool. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
right,
I've seen people lose their whole families behind the walls. Couldn't go to the funerals, couldn't do nothing, go home to nothing, right back in the system, don't want to leave, start fighting and everything else. That shit is not cool.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So look, Brad, to answer that question, if you a person that's not really touching the soil, can you still get indicted on the RICO Act? So say for instance, you got a mob boss
Mm-hmm.
and he got 10 soldiers up under him. when they come snatch everybody else up, they gonna snatch up that mob boss too, even though he don't got bodies. But he's the head of it. He's the person that's putting the money out there, that's doing this and that and this and that. He's giving the orders. He's telling this person to go do this, even
Well,
though he's handing them down to his lieutenants and telling his lieutenants to hand out the orders. He's the figurehead of this whole organization.
no,
So if
who's saying that he's telling them to do something? He ain't telling nobody to do nothing. He just
you're
the
the
one who
head,
got the money.
you okay? So when they snatch the head, that's how they take down the whole organization. So say for instance, you had Ti. Ti, when he got indicted on the RICO Act, Ti ain't put in no work. He ain't hurt nobody. But they figure as though he's the head and he's giving the orders. Not only is he the head and he's giving the order, he's the money. And
But
that's
let's
what they're
I see that part.
but
yeah.
let's bring it back. They start from the bottom all the way to the top.
Yes.
The motherfuckers that the small fries, they get them first. They give them a
Hmm.
hell of a deal. Okay, if you can get us some wiretaps, if you can, wear this wire, if you can, set some shit up, all this other stuff, instead of getting that 75 years, we're gonna break you down to 10 years. And when
Hmm.
you go to the feds, you're doing all that goddamn time. You're
Oh,
doing
Yeah.
every last bit of that time. You're
no
not
doubt.
doing all that other shit and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta tell him to call you back.
Yep,
I'm hearing something beeping. I'm like, what the hell is that beeping?
That's somebody calling Tiffany.
Oh, okay. What is that beeping? Like,
Hey, so like what she's saying is true. So if you
keep
think
talking.
about it,
Keep talking. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
so what she's saying is true. If you think about what Gunner just did, um, and I don't know if you could pull up the video of of the prosecutor. The prosecutor just said that even though he pled guilty, that is not an admission of guilt,
mm-hmm.
even though he pled guilty. So what their thing is to get the small guys and get them either convicted or out of the way so they can get to the big guys.
It's not answering.
So by him saying I plead guilty,
Wait.
and then he also said that YSL, he knew YSL as an entertainment group
Mm-hmm.
and as a gang.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turned around and pleaded guilty. But they said that's not admission of guilt. But what he did is, instead of them, they said if you plead guilty but not admission of guilt, and then we can go and get you out of the way, we also gonna stop you from getting 3 to 4 to 5 years, and we're gonna drop it down to X amount of time. But we need you to plead guilty so we can go and get you out of the way so we can get to the person we're trying to get to,
Right.
which is Jeffrey, which is Young Thug.
Mm-hmm.
And why do they want to get to Young Thug? Because they want to shut down the millionaires that still has connections to the hood.
Right.
So that's what they doing. That's their whole plan is if they keep their foot on the black man's neck
Mm-hmm.
and stop him from rising to a certain power, then they're doing their job. So in order to do that, they hitting people with these RICO's acts to get this money up out of the hood because he got connections to either make the hood better or either make the hood stronger and rise to power to where we can be on the same strength as a white man. They don't
Right.
want that. So they taking that out of the hood. And how they take it out of the hood? By keeping us in poverty, by taking the money away.
Right.
And that's back to what we was talking about. I think when it came to health and wealth and all that other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
basically, we black people are very powerful. We just don't know how to use our power in the right way. When Wall Street first started, it was us black people that did it. It wasn't white people. It wasn't none of
Yeah.
that. It was us that did it, and set us on fire, and then they took over like they invented it, like they invented any other thing. So them taking the money, they don't want us to recycle the money to help the less fortunate, because they want that money to give them more power and everything else. That's why the black homes are like that. It's a lot of single
Yes.
mothers, their daddies is in jail and everything else. But they're always going to start at the bottom and work their way to the top, because the motherfuckers that don't have nothing is quick to talk compared to the motherfuckers that do have something that's gonna lawyer up like a motherfucker and get the best defense lawyer there is, while the other ones is sitting in there dealing with public defenders.
Right. Right. What video is that, right? Is that the one from the prosecutor?
Yeah, this is him just talking about what's happening with Gunner, and you know what I'm saying, the situation and what's happening with him.
Okay, let's see. Run that one.
Let's see.
Of our episode is brought to you by eforms.com. That's eforms.com. eforms.com. So let's say you have an ex-girlfriend and she just won't leave you alone, and she's living in your basement, and you got to get her out of there because she's just such a pain in the ass. She's tweaking out on meth and she doesn't have a lease. Well, you go get an eviction form from eforms.com. You don't hire me. You do what you got to do. It doesn't matter what state you're in. You go to eforms.com and they have you covered, whether it's a power of attorney, eviction form, whatever you.
We can get him.
It's a high-ranking one. A plea is when you all of a sudden say, hey, look, I'm guilty. There's two parts to a plea. There's a waiver of your rights because you have a right to a trial, and there's a whole bunch of rights. You have a right to testify, cross-examine witnesses, blah, blah, blah. So you have to waive all those rights first. Then there's what's called a factual basis, and that's what we're going to show you here. Factual basis, that's where you have to admit that you committed a crime. You cannot enter a plea and not admit that you did something wrong. So let's see what the judge has to say, and the prosecutor in this case.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the factual basis. So basically, you got to admit to what you're doing or what you did. That makes you
I
guilty.
became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated. So he all of a sudden acknowledges YSL as a gang.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
So he admitted not only that YSL is a music label, but it's also a gang.
A gang.
And that he and others committed crimes in furtherance of YSL.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
So you were with Young Thug when you had some drugs and guns in the car. Oh, and by the way, none of that shit was yours, right?
None of that belongs to me.
Oh, who's
If I say none of
guess
it
must have
belongs
been
to
the
me,
other guy.
The only person in the car with me is Young Thug, right?
That my
Well,
talent
that'd
and
be
music indirectly
Yeah.
furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
YSL's The Gang Must End. I deeply regret. First of all, that you don't need that for a plea. She wanted that for some reason. That's
Wow.
the prosecutor that's standing up talking right now. There's been a lot of talk in the Twitter sphere and the atmosphere and the cybersphere about whether or not Gunna is snitching. Well, they got a trial coming up, and now he just admitted in open court all these different things. Now, Gunna's lawyer, if you look on here, it says Gunna did not snitch to get out of jail. He has said nothing and is not cooperating. He just admitted in open court. His plea statement cannot be used in court against any other defendant. Not true. So please stop spreading lies. Let's just break this down because people want to know if he's a snitch or not. I can honestly tell you that I don't know if he's snitching or not. His lawyer says he's not cooperating, but that's what he's going to say. You wouldn't have any document to show that he's cooperating. But can his statement be used against somebody else in their trial? Well, let's analyze.
Yeah.
Unless there's a specific agreement to not have that be used in another person's trial, it can be. Why can't it be? Because it's an admission against penal interest. That is not hearsay. Otherwise, otherwise it would be a hearsay statement. But when you make a statement under oath and you inculpate yourself, that means you point the finger at yourself that you did something wrong. That's a statement against interest. That is not hearsay, and that absolutely can be used in a trial against Young Thug. Now, these are extreme.
So wait, though. He is snitching. Hold on, let's stop him right there. So he snitched. No matter how you put it, he snitched on his homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A couple times. He snitched in a couple different ways. You in the car, and all this stuff is found, all this illegal stuff is found, and he jump out the car and say, "It ain't mine." Well, then who? It ain't nothing but another person in the car.
But the thing about it is, it could have like, yeah, he told in so many ways. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And when I say he told in so many ways, is because see, that's where they get you at. They either want you to plead no contest or not guilty, or they want you to plead to this so they can have something against you and go from there. That's why whenever I caught a crime and I had a crime me, I always told them separate my case. I'm not fucking with that crimey shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Because you gonna go in there and you gonna probably do some dumb shit and get yourself caught up in a worlds of trouble when I can get off and do my own shit and do my own time and everything else. Like I said, this is where the system get tricky, and you got to really know your penal codes. You got to know the court talk. You got to know all that shit while you're answering these questions and everything. Like the lawyer keeps saying, oh, he's not cooperating, he's not this, he's not that, he's not. But nigga, you just said in court that your record label is a gang, that you was in the car when all this shit got found.
Yeah.
But you not snitching? Come on. Why you not?
And they said with YSL as a gang, do you knowingly know that they committed acts of crime? Yeah. But what? Goddamn.
So now you're in a mission of a crime with these people. So whatever they get you, you're gonna get. That's another tricky situation too.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking about the RICO Act. I can be in a car with somebody, they can go in there and rob a bank. You feel what I'm saying? They was like, oh, I'm going to bank real quick. They come back out, they rob a bank. I'm still getting the same time that person getting because I'm in the car. Unless I willingly say, I didn't know he was doing that. He just told me to sit in the car. I want no parts of that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day is, at some point, these motherfuckers is going to twist the words up and try to get you on some of this shit one way or another to, like, you. So you're telling me that you rode to the bank with this person. They said they going to be right back. You did not know he was going in there robbing, doing nothing, and you didn't see no gun. You didn't do this. They're going to try to twist it any way they can.
Right.
That's just like if I go kill somebody. You feel what I'm saying? You want no parts of that, but I do it anyway. You feel what I'm saying? You're still going to get the same time that I got because you was with me. I don't give a fuck how much you snitched. If you told on me, she pulled the trigger, she did this, she did that, the first thing they're going to say is, well, why you didn't call the police right after it happened?
But listen, though, this shit ain't nothing new. They was doing this shit to us as we was kids coming up, and they was taking motherfuckers to jail. They was playing the same games. I mean, so why ain't nobody figured it out? These boys are still, I mean, what is it?
It's just a different, it's a different form now because money's involved. These niggas is making more money than the federal police and all that other stuff. These niggas is racking in millions. You feel what I'm saying? And everything else. They evading taxes, or they doing shit, writing shit off. They giving back to the community and everything else so they can keep their shit going on and everything else. And that's where they're getting pissed off at, because all this money is floating around in black communities. You feel what I'm saying? And we are bettering ourselves, so they got to strip us where they got to hit us where it hurt, and that's our pockets.
And that's the thing too, is when they go and snatch up all these people for the RICO Act, they don't want all of them. They snatching them up because they want the weak ones, so the weak ones can tell. So like when they hit the 9 Trey Bloods in New York, the reason why they snatched up 6ix9ine, because they knew 6ix9ine was soft. And when 6ix9ine got in there, 6ix9ine told on everybody. So That's what they doing. That's what they doing. They snatched up Sauce Walker and his whole crew. Out of 15 people, Sauce Walker and the other 14 people. Out of them 14 people, somebody about to tell something.
And not just that, but if you look at 6ix9ine, you see all the shit that he did. He had to be put in police protection. Police protection. He had to do this. He had to do that. But the nigga was rapping like he was this big ass blood nigga out here making big moves. This is and that. But as soon as he got in that hot seat, guess what? His ass was on fire, and he didn't want to do that time.
He didn't want to do it. So that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't really remember. I don't really remember. Did they hit 6ix9ine in them with a Rico?
Yes.
Yes.
They hit him with
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Rico?
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, it's the head dude with all that had all the money. The dude Shotty. Shotty. I think Shotty damn near got like 40, 50 years or something like that. That's the dude that 6ix9ine. He was the head of the 9 Trey Bloods. He was the one that was making all the money because he was 6ix9ine's manager and all that shit. So when they indicted them, they didn't want 6ix9ine and they didn't want half of the 9 Trey Bloods. They wanted Shotty because they wanted to take the money off of the street. Another person that they could have got with them, he was even on wiretaps, was Jim Jones. But Jim Jones knew to stay away.
Not just
So
that, but Jim Jones don't got money like that no more. So I don't get like that. That wasn't. He might have a little money, but he don't have money like the other people. But that's another thing is what they fail to realize is, how can I put it? Sometimes the people with the big money, they know how to do shit. So they don't always. Do you think these niggas is going to sit down for all this time and not still don't got no goddamn money?
oh yeah, they still got money coming in.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? And why they thinking they sitting down behind the walls that they still ain't calling shots and all this other stuff? If you know the 6ix9ine, ever since he came home for a minute, showed his face, was doing weird shit and everything else. You haven't heard from that nigga since.
And went into hiding. It's a lot of people that got snatched up. B-Rat, they snatched up Big Meech and the BMF.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
Big Meech
snatched
was
that.
doing a lot though.
They
They was doing a
snatched.
lot, man.
They snatched up your boy from Philly that was hooked up with Meek Mills, but he started doing his own thing.
Mhm.
They snatched up him. They snatched up a lot of people with that RICO Act, man.
And the crazy thing about it is, Young Thug and all them, you couldn't even really tell they was out there doing what they was doing because they kept it under wrap so much. You feel what I'm saying? That somebody had to bring attention to them. Somebody had to.
Exactly.
Somebody had to, because they was low key. They was making that music. They was doing their thing. They wasn't out there. Yeah, they was singing about lifestyles and all this other stuff and everything else. But then you have to look at Young Thug's background, where he came from. That's probably
Hmm.
like, you know what I'm saying? Some of that money that he got probably not even, is probably was inherited to him from families because of the shit they did overseas and everything else. He just, oh my God. He just turned his into the rapping and everything else and all that other stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, in reality, that's probably not all drug money or gun money or whatever money. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes people really get that money from family members and everything else and do something about it. Now, he probably did it later on down the line, but they had to catch somebody small in order to get to him. Somebody had to slip.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
another thing too is, you got hating ass niggas. They'll tell when they not getting their way, or you get these shiesty ass bitches. You feel what I'm saying? As soon as they not getting the dick no more, or they find out they niggas cheating and all this other stuff, they get to spilling the beans, pillow talking, all that shit.
Mhm. Now it was said that the reason why Waka Flocka, my bad, Soft Walk and them got picked up was because of the Prince family put the people on. I don't know
Because of
how
who?
the Prince family. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They just saying that's what happened. They said that, the Prince family put, Jay Prince and them put the head on Walker. Off Walker.
I haven't heard about that one though.
Yeah. That's what they saying.
I ain't heard about that one.
Who it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's a form of hating right there. Motherfuckers like Tiffany was saying, people be hating on you, and they'll do some shit. No doubt. Tiffany, you in stuck mode, huh?
I did.
Yeah, you froze.
Okay, hold on.
Cause she keep answering the phone.
I didn't even answer my phone. That's the problem. I
Don't
walked
talk
into my
back to
son's
me,
room.
woman. Don't talk back to me, woman.
What I was gonna say is I walked into my son's phone. I mean my son's room. Hold on, let me go back to the living room.
That's probably the internet, yeah.
Hey,
so
do you
think, man? You know what I'm saying? Man, them dudes that Rico carry a lot of time. Don't they carry like 10 years or more?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here I am. That's what
Can
it
you
was.
pull up the video where it shows Gunna getting out of jail? I think it's just called Gunna gets released.
Let's see.
It'll say Gunna gets released or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thankful to God. I ain't never got caught in no RICO act or nothing.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Well, I ain't never did nothing to get caught up in no RICO act. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know that many people. Shit.
I don't, and I was always at church. So I was never a gangster.
You say you was never a gangster? Cut it out, man.
Hey, see if it'll run that one right there.
Yeah, it'll run it. Hold on.
So these people can get a glimpse of what we talking about.
This is him, bro. Yes.
I mean, but this boy done said that YSB, or what is it? Is it YSB, right?
What YSL?
YSL is a gang.
Is a gang.
So he's snitching.
As he getting picked up in the Maybach truck.
Yeah, he ain't supposed to know them people shit, man.
He should have went in there. The street code is when you get up in there, sit down and be quiet. Don't tell them people nothing.
But that's the thing. These motherfuckers talk too much now. They want to go in there and be a big man, like, oh, I'm this person. I did this. I did that. I'm here on this charge. I'm here on that charge. Trying to make a rap for themselves. Shit, when I went in that motherfucker, I sat down and I was quiet in the motherfucker. When they said you was going to prison, everybody was like, you going to prison? They was happy than the motherfuckers. I said, bitch, y'all crazy. I want to go home. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Got to prison, still didn't fuck with nobody. Didn't say nothing to nobody. Didn't do nothing.
Man. If you got co-defendants, you tell your co-defendants, hey man, don't say shit. Let these motherfuckers do their job. If they say they got a case, let them build a case, man. Go in here, don't say nothing. Sit down and be quiet. They gotta build a case in order to put you in jail. Don't go up in there running your mouth.
That's why when I did mine, I had a
it's looking good for Young Thug. They say, you know what I'm saying, the judge is siding with him on some things, you know what I'm saying? It's looking good. Look like they done made a lot of mistakes snatching him up, you know what I mean?
That too, but he got money too. He got more money than all of them.
He got that lawyer. That's what he got.
Yeah, he got more money. Money talks, bullshit walks when it comes to your defense. Look at OJ.
And it's like you said though. It's like you said, those that don't got the money to get a lawyer like him got to go up in there and they got to know those penal codes.
Not just the penal codes, but then those are the ones that's taking the plea deals. Instead of 50 years, they give them 10 years and they telling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check this clip out right here about Young Thug, man.
An Atlanta rapper has spent the entire day in court trying to get evidence against him thrown out. Attorneys for Atlanta rapper Young Thug went to bat for him today in court. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor has been monitoring the hearing. Joins us now from the newsroom with the latest. Angelique?
Well, Russ, there were technical problems with today's hearing, and for that reason, it was delayed and is still going on. Let's go now to the courtroom. Attorneys for the mega rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, have asked a Fulton County judge to return property that was seized during what defense attorneys call an illegal seizure. Now, the property includes a cell phone, a small amount of marijuana, among other things. The cell phone becomes significant because prosecutors extracted other evidence from it, evidence that the defense wants eliminated from the RICO case.
The judge found that the entry was unlawful. We don't get to do it again. And Mr. Williams then tried for a year a year to get back his property. And what did the police do? They tell him, it's the evidence. We're not giving it to you.
Your Honor, our position remains that because there was a separate ongoing investigation for which a valid search warrant was in effect, and it was not, there was no ruling as to fruits of the poisonous tree, there was absolutely no reason to return that cell phone.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
But that's how they trying to build a case, though. They trying to build a case off some illegal seized property. That's how they trying to build a case. And that's probably the information that they got off of that cell phone or whatever. That's probably what the information they used to build the case against him to get him to the RICO Act.
Y'all don't hear that?
What?
Hear what?
Tiffany can sit her ass down. Roaming all around and shit.
And damn, ain't no.
I got shit to do. Shit, I'm in my house. I got to check on kids, do all the other stuff and everything else. I done sit down now.
I feel you. I feel you. She moving around and shit. I'm like, Tiffany moving around. She giving us a show of the house shit. She giving us a tour around this motherfucker. Yeah, but man,
hell yeah. You know, shit, I had to make sure my kitchen was clean. My kids doing what they supposed to be doing.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. But you know, it's crazy, man, that they using this RICO Act on
everybody frozen.
No, that was you.
That's you. You frozen.
Frozen. From walking around in the house.
I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, you frozen.
Catch up to you. He's trying to catch up to you.
Oh my God.
Here, you cool now. You cool now.
Am I frozen now?
No, you good now.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's sad, man, that they putting the RICO Act on all these boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Snatch people up. I understand what they doing, but I mean, just crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
They gotta do it.
Who y'all think next, man? They gonna try to fuck with?
Probably Jay Prince.
Shit, they ain't been
hell yeah, behind that hole. Nah. Ever since that shit handled with Takeoff, they about to go after his ass now.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace to Takeoff, man. You know, that was a sad situation.
That dude, Jay Prince is he's a big figure, man. He's a big figure.
Real big figure.
Y'all talking about the daddy, right? Y'all talking about the
yes.
Jay Prince.
Yeah. See,
yeah,
the daddy is a big figure. The son is more, because his daddy is a big figure, he's like more reckless. He's like he's out there like running around like a loose cannon.
Allegedly, they say he's a snitch. They say he worked for the feds.
Okay, well, allegedly, he gonna get his daddy taken down.
Yeah, and allegedly that every time a rapper goes to Houston, Texas, they have to report to him first before doing any shows, before doing anything. They gotta pay him to come to their cities.
Oh, he's extorting people.
They gotta check in.
Yeah, they basically
that's they check in. Huh?
But no. Basically, when all that shit with Takeoff was happening,
there she go, frozen.
To let him know that he was gonna be in town. They can't make no money unless they check in with him. They say for protection, whoever comes in only J Prince people can have the guns and all that other stuff. The other people, bodyguards and stuff, cannot have guns, and that's how the whole situation took place. And the party he got killed at was behind. It was Jay Prince's, I think, son's birthday party. It wasn't actual Jay Prince party. It was the son's birthday party. And a lot of the pictures that was taken, you seen Takeoff and his uncle, Quavo, they chilling, laughing, smoking weed and everything else. But all Jay Prince people had guns, but him and his people didn't have guns. And allegedly the shooting started, it started behind a dice game and all this other shit. So it's kind of like it's a lot of mess that goes on between it. But at the end of the day, is Jay Prince is being blamed for it, the way everything happened, because nobody's talking. But how you don't know what's going on? First of all, it was at the event. It's cameras, which he probably paid off so they wouldn't see. And then nobody know nothing. But this is an event, an exclusive event that everybody that came, because they had to have invites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit was sad though, man. That was sad. But I mean, what's the use of paying? You know what I'm saying? What's the use of getting extorted and going down there and checking in if your people gonna get killed any fucking way?
And that's the thing about it. That's where the whole conflict is coming in, like Young Thug situation. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Somebody in his camp talked. They say they got the person that killed Takeoff, but I don't believe that's the person. If you look at all the different videos and all the different things, that's not the person. The person they got is
the DJ Pat.
Yeah, the big heavyset dude, the person that was actually shooting and had the gun was not even heavyset like that. He was a slender dude and all that other stuff, and he had dreads. If you really pay attention to the videos and all that other shit, so that's just a bunch of bullshit. But once again, here we go again. They took a young black male off this earth. Takeoff was very quiet. He didn't bother nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never heard him in the tabloids. You never heard him on TMZ. You never heard him doing nothing. He mind his business.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Takeoff
like
wasn't even, when it happened, Takeoff wasn't even the one that was arguing. It was Quavo.
I understand that. So that's what I'm saying. And then another thing is too, that's just like Young Thug. You don't hear too much about Young Thug in the tabloids and him out here just doing reckless shit and everything else. You hear him about
unless they talking about him wearing a dress or something.
Yeah, shit like that. Like, it's petty shit that they talk about him when it comes to that shit. You don't never hear about the shit like, okay, he didn't beat up like Boosie. Boosie be doing all kind of shit. He'll tell you he fucking did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck. Like, nigga, I did it. What you gonna do? Yada, 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 and everything else. But Young Thug, everybody thought he was gay for a long time. Like, he was behind the scenes.
Yeah. He was behind the scene, all right.
You stupid. So it's kind of like, my thing is this. You gotta watch the people you hang around with. My thing is, I don't give a fuck if we've been homies for 10 years. When jealousy and envy steps in, they gonna do anything they can to knock you down so they can be at the top. And that's where our black community is going wrong too at. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Just like when all that shit happened with T.I. and they was trying to tell him he was doing this, he was doing that. First of all, T.I. got big money in Atlanta. He do a whole lot of shit. He got the Congress, all kind of shit in his pocket and everything else for them to try to do that. But that was somebody envious of T.I. and jealous of T.I. to try to take him down with some false accusations.
Yeah. So let's say this, because it's been 45 minutes. To end the show, what do you feel is going to happen with Jeffrey, Young Thug, and the YSL movement? What do you feel is going to be the the ending of that chapter.
Young Thug gonna get off. I already
Yeah, I
feel
think
that
he's gonna get off too. He's gonna get off.
his money long. Now them other ones, it might be a little different. They gonna do some time.
Mm-hmm. They gonna do
Young
some time.
Thug, yeah,
He
Young
gonna look
Thug,
out for him. You
huh?
think he gonna look out for him?
I see. I don't know because he know what's going on. He know who talking. He know what, like, you feel what I'm saying. But he can't act on it right now because he's in the spotlight.
What you think is gonna happen with Sauce Walker?
See, that one's tricky and everything else because it's kind of like you admitted shit that you can't take back. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't know the court system and you don't know how this plea shit goes and everything else, you have to be very, very careful on how you respond to this shit and how you talk to these people and everything else. Sauce Walker's kind of admitting to a lot of shit. You feel what I'm saying? Why Young Thug is like, y'all took that shit and you wasn't even rightfully able to take that. So you can't use that against me. See, his defense team is a little more savvy than Sauce Walker's.
But Sauce Walker ain't really got in court or nothing yet, though. He ain't really got started yet, so.
Yeah, he ain't really got started yet, but we just heard the statement. Come on, man.
What you got pulled up right there, right?
Man, I want to talk about this young man right here, man, Romeo, man. What do y'all think about Romeo airing out the family business, man, on the internet about his daddy, Master P, man?
Oh, no.
Allegedly taking his money when he was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about that, though? Is
Okay,
that
listen.
the internet?
We gonna talk about this next Monday, and I told y'all that mental health in the Black community. Master P and his family has a lot of mental stuff going on in that family. After that DJ, the DJ that just died, what's his name? I forgot it that quick.
Mm.
The one that was on the Ellen show.
DJ Switch.
Okay, yeah. So Master P got on and said, you never know what nobody's going through, depression, yada yada yada. So basically, Romeo bust him out and said, you talking about a man you don't even know, but your own family has been through depression, did this, did that, and everything else, but you're not checking in.
His daughter too. He just lost his daughter too. She just committed. I don't know if she committed suicide or whatever.
Yeah. So you getting on, and you getting on praising the next man. That's why I said let's talk about that next segment. But when Romeo first started in the rap game, he was young. He didn't know nothing about all that money and all that other stuff. He had to educate himself. But he didn't think his father was gonna do that to him. Like what person?
How you gonna say let's talk about it next week and then gonna talk about it?
Yeah, because you got me into it right now because I don't agree with it. I'm like, I think he fouled for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't know what his daddy had to do. See, people get the shit all mixed up and think, okay, I'm a rapper, I'm rapping, I'm making money. Man, that shit costs money to get you to different shows and to get you out there on the stage.
Correct.
Palms with the DJs and shit. That shit costs money. That shit ain't cheap. Motherfuckers think, I'm rapping, I'm supposed to get all the money. Well, who the fuck is paying for all your travel and all that?
Yeah, and buddy, I'm talking about the mental health part. Let's talk about next week.
I want to talk about this whole segment next week because I haven't had time to get educated on it.
But do y'all
mental health?
I think the boy is foul for what he's doing.
The whole Master P thing and his family.
They don't hear me though.
Oh no, you can.
Y'all hear me, man. That boy, I don't think he's right, man. That boy wrong for doing that.
The thing about it is, you can look it up, but it's all part of the mental health part. It's part of mental health because it's something deeper within that family dynamics. Like you said, one of them just committed suicide. Or we gonna look into it, but it's all has to do with mental health. He's starting to talk more. He's starting to talk more about it because of the shit that his daddy is doing, trying to praise the next person. Like he's going through something. He was going through depression. People walking around with a smiling face, but something deep down inside is really going on. He said, how can you say that about the next man that you never knew? You feel what I'm saying? When your own kids is going through it yourself, then that's when he goes.
Go ahead.
Then that's when he broke down how the money was being stolen and everything else. But like you said, right? It takes money to make money. That's what people fail to realize. It takes money to make money. When you get these big ass contracts, a music label produce you and everything else, all that money they put into you first, when you sign that contract and you start making millions, they getting their money back.
Yeah, they getting their money back first. You getting the Iblets.
Yeah, they getting their money back, and he was with his dad's record label. So it's kind of like, nigga, like I'm taking everything that I invested back into you and everything else. But see, as some of these young rappers get older and they don't understand the dynamics of the music label and different things like that, they feel like they're being cheated, they're being this, they're being that. But if that person never invested in you, you'll be a nobody.
Hey, but like Buddy's great late homie would say, you know what I'm saying? It's a time and place for everything. I just don't think it's no place for the internet for to air your family business out. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't no place for me. I don't agree with, how he did it. That's your daddy, homie. You can call your daddy at any time. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to your daddy on the phone. We can pull up. We can meet at the burger spot or whatever and chop it up. But to put it on the internet is some bullshit to me.
It's bullshit. But see, sometimes we don't know the true dynamics of the family behind the internet. What happens if he can't call his daddy and say nothing? You feel what I'm saying? That's why he
put his fingers handicapped. What the nigga can't dial 7 digits?
Okay, prime example. I'm gonna give you prime example. You remember when Kirk Franklin and his son got into it and did what he did? A lot of people didn't know nothing about Kirk Franklin and his problems with his son and all that other stuff until the son got on social media, aired his business out, and then that's when Kirk Franklin responded. He was like, "I did everything for my son. I did this, I did that, I did everything. I did everything."
Go ahead.
No, I see it too. I did everything I could to help my son. Now he not getting the help that he wants from me, and I'm not paying bills no more and everything else. All of a sudden, he wants to put it out there like that. So it's kind of like he was saying, when I was giving him money, when he was calling for the help, when I was giving, nobody knew nothing about this. But as soon as I stop giving, he wants to put out to the world that I'm just a fucked up person. So if you're going to put it out there like that, tell the truth and the whole truth.
Okay, we gotta say this for next week.
Yeah.
We gotta save it for next week.
We gotta,
because I can't even chime in because I don't even know what happened.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, buddy, what you need to look up is the Master P thing, the Master P dynamics, and you got to look up Kirk Franklin and his son dynamics. Just look up those two things, and it has something to do with mental health. That's why I told y'all next Monday is going to be mental health. Mental health in the Black community, for the simple fact is it's a taboo to us. People are scared to go talk to somebody. People are scared to go get help. People are scared to say, okay, I'm bipolar, I got depression, I got this, because it's a lot to be put on.
Okay.
So what's that comment say?
It says, we were brought up as Black family to always keep our family business between our family.
And that's where we fucking up at. You know why? That's why Uncle Joe was molesting his niece for 10 years and everything else, because everything was a family secret. Or this is why this person was on drug for so many years and grandma raised the baby as her own, but the mama really out there fucking up until somebody get pissed off and tell the business. That's where we fucking up at. We can't keep sweeping shit under the rug and saying family business is family business. No. That's why a lot of motherfuckers is fucked up. You need to talk. Let that shit out.
Okay, so we talking about this next week?
Yes. So look up, buddy. Look up Kirk Franklin and his son, and look up Master P and his son.
Okay. I'm gonna be ready.
So be ready.
But tomorrow, that, man. I don't agree with no kid disrespecting their parents. I don't agree with none of that. You know what I'm saying?
But wait. But that can be a two-sided thing, though, right? I want you to hear me out. you don't feel you don't respect any parent any kid disrespecting their parent, but it's okay for a parent to disrespect their kid by
No,
abusing. No, listen, by abusing mentally, physically, and sexually. All that comes into play. So while you're saying you don't agree, but that kid can be getting molested, he keep going to the mother saying such and such was molesting me, but you feel what I'm saying? She like, shut up. You don't tell that kind of business. You're gonna get my boyfriend in trouble. This is Sanat. That's disrespectful right there. So you gonna pick this nigga or this bitch over your own kid?
Yeah. But
So it's two sides to every story.
I don't know. You got to respect your parents, man. Them the only parents you have, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't agree with you getting online and airing them out on
And,
national. You know what I'm saying? World Wide Web. That's the bullshit.
and I get that, but
That's
the thing about it is back to what I was saying. What everybody's saying, like he just said, whoever the comment made, our family business is supposed to stay between us. But when you're like I mean, he had a reason to say what he said. Master P got on there and acknowledged a man he never met over his own kids. He was fed up. He like, nigga, I went through depression. I went through this. I went through that. I went through this. But you praising the next man, but you ain't looking at me. Then you just said his daughter just committed suicide. So basically, you're still praising.
Overdose on fentanyl.
Okay, yeah. So basically, you're still praising the next motherfucker, but you're not looking at the thing that is not that you're sweeping it under the rug that's taking place in your house. So you look at the next man, he going through depression, he killed himself, but yet your daughter just overdosed on fentanyl, but you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to bring up awareness of that. You don't want to you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel what you're saying, though. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. But I just don't. I mean, what do you? I just don't agree with putting it airing the business out like that.
But this generation is different. The internet is their business. The internet is their family. They get more love from the internet than they do from their own family.
Right.
Generational curse are real, and we are between the new generation values and the old generation values.
So we in the middle. We mixed up, huh? Man, shit.
Yeah, we mix. Just like the Me Too movement, all these the different LGBTQ plus communities. It's a lot of shit that's going on. That's why I said that's a deeper topic. So you need to really look up into it, both of y'all. Because see, I can go on and on about this subject because I'm very passionate about it. But
okay, but let's not go on and on. Because we ain't gonna have nothing for next Monday if you go on and on.
Yeah.
Master P didn't want it on the internet to be exposed.
No doubt, he don't.
I know,
sure
you know why?
some shit too, but it still don't need. It ain't a place for the internet for me. It ain't.
And I get that, but you know why he don't want it to be exposed? Because he don't want to know how he really is. I mean, everybody got dirty laundry. We all go through shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Young Thug. Let's end this with this one. Young Thug is gonna get off. Just mark my words.
I believe that.
The last guy we just seen the segment, Lucci. I forgot his name that quick. I mean, not Lucci, the other guy.
Gunna.
He's about to get caught up because of his admission in courts. They could say they're not going to use that all they want. They could try to contest it. They could try to do all kind of fucking fouls. They can do whatever they want. But he basically admitted in court that they're a gang, that he knows the crimes that was taking place, and he was in the car with all the shit, but it wasn't his.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, what'd you say, Rat? We got 1 minute.
Man, I believe that Young Thug gonna get out, and Gunner done fucked up and ran his mouth, and I don't give a fuck what nobody said. That boy snitched, man. That boy told so he can get his ass out of jail.
Yeah. He did snitch. That's snitching all day long.
I say he snitched. I say he snitched
Austin, Texas in the house. What's happening with you, homie?
I think what's gonna happen is he gonna be out here in the streets, and somebody gonna catch him by his shirt collar and rough him up. But I think Young Thug gonna do some time. I think he gonna get a couple years.
That's what I was gonna say.
We don't really know what's happening with Sauce Walker yet, though, huh?
No, we don't know. No, we don't. It's
He
still
just
too
got
early.
snatched.
Yeah, it's still too early. But if Young Thug do get time, he not doing a lot of time.
Yeah, I think he gonna get a couple years.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think he gonna get away with this shit.
I think I'm willing to bet you $50. I'm willing to bet you $50 that Young Thug gonna get 2 or more years.
That's a risky bet.
Appreciate you, homie, for coming on and checking us out. We appreciate you, homie. For
The
sure.
thing about it is that's a tricky bet because I don't believe the way everything is taking place and the way, like, you feel what I'm saying, how it's all going in his defense team, he might get some time, but I read it's like a 10% chance he might get time.
So go and bet your $50.
Not be like I said, that's a tricky bet because I just said that you wasn't listening. Because
I'm guarantee you he gonna get some time.
I don't know. We'll talk about that next time. I know I got your number. If I want to side bet you, I'll side bet you.
Okay. Austin said
we're gonna get up out of here though.
Young Thug is gonna stay locked down.
They gonna stay locked down, man, in his opinion. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the brother don't, he gets out, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and hopefully everything go right for Sauce Walker. You know what I'm saying? He get out.
Sauce Walker fuck himself.
Tune in. Y'all tune in next week for the conversation on Master P and his children and Kirk Franklin and his children.
The next topic is mental health in the Black community.
Mental health in the Black community.
I told you to look up those two things so you can see what I'm talking about. It's mental health in the Black community.
We on that.
We on that.
Black community next week, Monday at 8 o'clock. Y'all check us out. This is episode 1 of our little live Monday night live show, man. Y'all come check us out every Monday. We're going to be here, guaranteed, man, to talk about what's going on in the world, man, what's really going on with us as Black people, man. So, you know, peace to everybody, man. Y'all say y'all, you know, endings, and you know what I'm saying? Let's get up out of here, man.
And good night.
Good night.
Y'all be cool. Peace, love, and hair grease.
And happy holidays.